me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great.
Hey,
I didn't
Gary.
want to misconstrue what you
Hey,
were trying to say.
and now I can't get to back to the page where I can see everybody. This is ridiculous. I can't live my life like this.
Wait a minute. Oh,
We live, y'all.
well, hello, Facebook. It is that time again. It's Friday. This is the Cocktail Social. I am your host, Blue Waters, aka Miss Kitty the Cat Couture, aka Alley Cat Sassy Cat, aka Miss Pussy Galore.
God.
Wait a minute. Oh, I have y'all. Coming to you live from the litter with today's Cocktail Social. And we've already gotten to it. We were having some technical difficulties.
here we
So
go.
for everyone that is paying attention and has tuned in, we are getting ourselves together. We're still, making this thing work during this pandemic. But we are here for the shits. So, before I even start, so the tease, the tease, the tease, the tease. As a matter of fact, let me get my cocktail right now because there's letting Miss Drew Hill Park have it.
Oh, shoot. We got to talk about the part.
No, this lady named Rhonda, she's like a, I don't even, she's not a city official. She doesn't work for the city. She's just somebody who just talks a lot and blasts people. Like she's one of Sheila Dixon's like not supporters. But she recently posted on her page today, she posted a picture in Drew Hill Park, but it was of people's cars. And her whatchamacallit went something like she was blasting the gay and straight DL guys that get it on in Drew Hill Park. But the damage that's everybody knows to some degree what goes on in Drew Hill Park. In the daytime, in the nighttime, in the between time. Took pictures of people's cars and posted it on Facebook and put that as a caption. You need to start telling your wives the truth. It's such and such, such and such. But all what she was saying was bullshit. But it was the idea for me that she posted people's cars that may have just been in Drew Hill Park. Like, unless she saw a dick sucking or some congalingas or whatever, she posted people. So I'm thinking now, do she have pictures of them in the act? Did she take live photos?
So my thing is that first of all, it's a park, and not everybody is out there having sex.
Right.
That's number one. Second of all, she's violated so many rights by taking people's pictures without their permission. Third of all, the fact that she's saying that the men are out there having sex as if women aren't out there having sex with men. That's another thing. And then fourth of all, what was your fucking intent? Because ma'am, if you were out there minding your business, how you know who's sucking dick unless you was over there sucking dick with them?
She wrote down the straight and gay black male hookup is ridiculous in Drew Hill Park. Men should be honest with their women.
I'm not responsible for whatever you hear.
Ladies, check for your man on the road to the mansion and the road to the disc golf. Look for the pile of dirt. So she was trying to basically tell them where to go and check and see if your man is a part of this lineup. Now,
the pile of dirt?
I guess it's a pile of dirt where the cars are. I don't know, but it's a park, so it's piles of dirt everywhere. But
that's what they doing construction there. That makes sense.
I'm just appalled that she took photos of people's cars.
But see, the problem that I'm really having with this story is
like she took photos. Oh, I'm showing them. But she showed
the problem that I'm having is here that why do women think that only men go out and have sex in parks? Like, it could be a woman's car and she could be out there.
You're out there. What are you doing out there?
I'm just saying, like women do this stuff. Like everybody does it, men, women. But they want to just section off things. Want to feel like, oh, no, girl, women out there are having sex just like men, and it's not just at Drill Hill Park. It's at almost every park in Baltimore. They having sex at that park down there at Forest Park.
They have seen her husband's car out there or her boyfriend car out there.
Right. Well, then, girl, then maybe your pussy ain't right. But don't be sitting here trying to put everyone else out there because you ain't getting none or your man want another man. That's your personal problem. But to take pictures of people's cars and then put it on full blast and then first thing you say is they out there fucking in the park, that just don't make sense to me. Take your lonely mad tail home and maybe fix yourself up and maybe people will hit on you in the park.
No, she did. She got a really nice profile, but she took a nice profile picture.
I can't stand you, Nate. Shut up.
She did. She jazzy too. Look at her. She jazzy. She nice and jazzy.
Girl, goodbye.
I commented because I wanted to know. Like, I did have to comment because I wanted to know. Like, well, how do you know they're out there having sex? One, and then two, aren't you violating somebody's rights? Because not everybody out there is having sex, and you going around and telling people that these are straight men having sex. And my thing is, again, you're first of all, you're making this accusation, and you're not. Why are you making this accusation? What is your intent? Is it a public health issue that the reason you're bringing this up? What are you really trying to do here? And that's my thing. It's like, what are you really trying to do? Because it sounds like you have another agenda going on.
But one of the men on her comments was like, I recall you speaking about this last year, Rhonda, but I'm still trying to figure out why you keep going back there. Like she keeps like she had already talked about this at some other time, but now she's back out there and she's taking pictures. Like, is
she trying to catch a man? I mean, what is she doing?
Is she trying to catch her man?
Yes.
Catch her man.
That's my question.
I want to know. Because my thing, and this is another thing. This is what I had a problem with a young lady last year. If you suspect that your man is having fucking sex with another man, why is you still sucking on his dick?
Right.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get a drink. Hold on. Let me sip.
You said I'll wait.
Because apparently you trying to fight to keep him, even though you know that he could be out here.
Wow. Well.
What they say? I know that's right. Hers with the what?
The hookah. We ain't gonna say what's in that hookah.
These comments, like, please, when y'all get a moment, just read through the comments.
I read through them.
Hilarious.
I read through, and the funny thing is that it's so crazy about the individuals that what they're commenting and saying. So now the reason why we had the Freddie Gray riots is because the gays was fucking in the park.
The algae. That's
wait, what?
The reason why the Freddie Gray riots occurred is because the gays were having sex in the park.
Really? We put two and two together and got Jello?
That's the part of the Sodom and Gomorrah plague.
Woman.
Oh, Ernest, I don't know who's had anal sex that you've been dealing with, but if their penis is smelling like shit, then you have other concerns. I just want you to know.
I hope that anyone going to the park ready to.
I want to know why my microphone is muted.
But clean themselves out before they go. That's just nasty. But that's off topic. That's nasty. Clean your.
Well, my thing is that you know that there are. First of all, like I said, when I walked through the park, what I saw were not gay couples having sex. Not saying that they didn't, but what I saw was male and females getting it on. So I don't know what part of the park she was in, but the part of the park I was in.
Well, she said what part she was in. She was over there by the golf disc and by the what she said, by the golf disc and something else,
Is she?
by the mansion, by the I guess by the zoo.
Yeah.
First of all, it's not even a real. If it's what are you doing back up in that part? Because I believe that part is leading to the zoo. So it's not.
Now again, so all these questions are answered in the comments. She tells the man she said I walk the trails.
At night.
She said, yeah, I don't know. She says it is like an enchanted forest, but then when I continue on the Jones Falls Trail, I come across these men that want to be pleased by men.
How does she know that? Has she had a conversation to ask them?
What the hell did I walk into?
You look pretty.
The guy told her to try a different outfit. Maybe she'll get a look or two. It's just weird. Like, I'm done. I'm not reading it.
That's a whole mess.
That was the tea. So for everyone that is coming in, this is the Kocktail Social, and we've already started. I had my cocktail, and we've already started off with the dish, the teas, the kibbles and bits, and it was about Drew Hill Park and the men that are having sex with men in the park, as
supposedly,
not saying. And I mean,
y'all know better than that. Don't lie, man.
Truth. The truth is the truth.
The truth. We know they out there having sex, but for her to point out
who gives a fuck
that these people out there having sex is what's the problem, because you don't know what those people out there are doing. They could be out there lounging. I know some people just put out a blanket and lounge under the tree, just get some shade and relax with a book. So for her just to just assume that these people are so what? It's none of your business. It could be a married couple. Let these people live their lives, baby. Maybe you should invest in doing it and enjoy yourself.
Right.
You know, I just don't get it. Let people.
Nobody is squirting on you. Nobody is jumping on you. Like, quit.
Right. I don't get it.
as long as you're doing it with protection.
And if you're doing it wrong, that's your business.
He was talking about your mask.
Oh.
No.
Thank you, Mazel. I was talking about being corona friendly.
Corona safe.
Corona. People stopped being safe, having sex safe years ago.
I don't know how they're gonna stay Rona sex for doing oral, so that's already out the door.
Yeah, well.
I'm just
look, I mean, doing oral, at least that part is underneath your jeans or your material or whatnot. So it kind of already got a mask on and whatnot, especially if you got your underwear on good. So you might work out. It might work out.
But viruses evolve. So if you have an oral sex with corona throat, it may turn into an STD.
It might jump down your urethra.
You may get corona dick.
Yeah.
Corona who?
Corona dick. You might get a COVID dick.
Good. That's not good. That's COVID penis.
You got no COVID penis and vagina.
A potent vagina.
That's a whole mouth, y'all.
Kojana. You got some of that Kojana.
That sound. First of all, that sound contagious, and it sounds like you don't want it. If you have a Kojana,
it sounds itchy.
It sounds itchy. It sounds very not good.
It sounds contagious. It definitely sounds contagious.
It did. It sounds like your vagina cough. It
cough out a loogie. When your vagina spit, you know that it is just. That's not good.
That sounds like the head of the trustee board.
Oh, boy.
Sister Kojana Taylor.
Kojana. Sister Kojana gonna lead us in a song of love.
Not on my mic.
Which one?
Not on any of them.
You know what of them.
She ain't singing their song on the mic over here. Not with a name like Kojana. No, she won't.
That's not good
at all.
Hey, y'all.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Nate, for that tender vittle. I'm going to actually go and do my own investigation of the park later on tonight, around about 10-ish, 11-ish. I'm gonna just go out there with my camera and
Don't do it.
my flashlight, and I'm gonna just go knock on car windows and just, hey, what y'all, get that dick out your mouth. Get out your mouth.
You gotta talk to your teeth and
Something's wrong with y'all.
You said don't get shot, Cable.
Gotta stay home.
That's not good.
You're not gonna do it. They blow your.
You trying? Oh, because you don't want no Kojana. You gonna mess up somebody else's chance.
Look, you knock on that door, they pull your ass through that window. Pointing in.
And then they gonna get some Boojana.
Well, in my case, it was Bleu China.
Bleu China.
Bleu China. Some of my Bleu China.
That's not like a condition.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a terminal ailment. Bleu China.
Chronic.
Real
it's
chronic.
It's chronic.
Blue chronic.
Blue chronic. Moving. Well, my socialites, we have a full house today. And so, is there anything new that's been going on with anyone, or has everyone is everyone corona'd out? Has everyone gotten to the point where we have cabin fever and we're just saying fuck it all? What's going on in your world, socialites? Anything new? No.
Same shit, different day.
I mean, you know, like you just said, the cabin fever. I ain't gonna lie, I have been stressing out lately and some depression also as well. So I'm not afraid to admit that. And because of that, I have lost a extreme amount of weight. I went from 237 and I'm now 209, and I didn't do that.
Shit, maybe I need to get depressed.
You're doing shit.
Too soon. Too soon.
You got the shits over there or something? What's going on?
But it's really serious because I haven't even realized it was happening. I haven't been eating like that at all, and I realized it, and now I'm trying to pick myself back up.
That's only because it's been hot as hell outside.
Yeah.
Nobody want food in the heat.
Besides that, yeah, it's
You drinking water?
Hold on. It maybe your stomach is starting to let you know that, you know, maybe your cooking ain't on, you know, it might be your cooking.
I see the shade clouds are coming.
your stomach might be like, shit, fuck this.
Look at this shit. I'm shutting down. We're protesting.
Whatever.
Black lives matter.
Fat lives matter.
No, so in all seriousness, I do want everyone that is paying attention to just check and be mindful of where you are emotionally, mentally during this pandemic. It has weighed in on everyone because it is a drastic change to our norm. We used to getting up, going, doing things, interacting with one another. Humans are social beings. So if you are depressed during this time, find a therapist, find someone that you can talk to so that you can actually address your mental and emotional health during this time. Actually, there has been an increase in suicidal ideations and attempts during this time frame because people have been affected in various ways, financially, in relationships, loss, people losing people on a regular basis. People are first of all, school, let me tell you, for a lot of people, for a lot of children, school and work was an escape. It was, you know, I don't have to be with you 24 hours. Well, now you are subjected to being around that abusive person, whether it's a parent, whether it's a child, whether it's whoever, but you are subjected to being in this place with these individuals 24/7 every day. And so that could be very stressful. So if you are experiencing any type of mental health issues, emotional, social, whatever it is, grief, any type of thing, seek some help. Seek some help. We cut up here at the Cocktail Social every Friday, but this is something that I do take seriously. I think that if you are experiencing it, before you go and take it out on yourself, seek out some support, therapeutic support.
And don't kill yourself, kill them.
And in saying that, Blue, in saying that, I do want to know that I did actually do that finally. So I do have an appointment to talk to a therapist.
Congrats.
So I decided I didn't no longer want to go through it, and I just finally took the steps when I started to recognize that I had a problem. Especially when I started like just going off on people just out of a drop, and I'm busting out crying at therapy just because of all the racism going on and just being broadcasted on social media. It's been a lot.
That's a lot. It is a lot.
You have to unplug from. So I know I do. I unplug from social media. And I go in there and I check my messages and I might check a couple friends stuff, but for the most part, I kind of stepped away from social media a little bit for now.
Yeah, and I get it. I just, as a mother of a Black son, it is stressful for me now. So I can't imagine being a Black man and then on top of, you know what I mean, in today's society. And just for the church going folk out there, yes, Jesus will fix it, but he also sent people to help us. So there is no shame. You want to see a therapist does not mean that you do not trust God.
Amen.
Understand that.
Amen.
And also there's an increase in substance abuse. So be mindful of that. People are using that as a means of coping.
And apparently, Blue, there's a extreme addiction now because of it to porn. So that's why our boy who talked too much on Twitter is telling everyone now we need to get rid of Pornhub. And you know who I'm talking about. Terry Crews.
Get rid of
Pornhub. What?
If I want to watch some old nasty ass shit, that's my business.
Right.
I know my rights.
If I want to rub blisters on my fingers, then let that be me. Okay, it's none of your beeswax.
Right.
So my thing is, and this is what I have to say about all of it, because this is why I have a problem with people. This is why I started the Cocktail Social, so that we can have these types of dialogues. Because I feel like everyone wants everyone to live according to their standards. And you live according to yourself. If you don't want to watch porn because that's the thing for you, then don't watch porn.
Right.
And don't violate my right and my freedom to do what the fuck I want to do because you have a problem with it. Now, as long as it's not hurting someone else. So my thing is that if it's not harming someone else, then I feel like you shouldn't say shit about it.
As long as you ain't sitting there watching the shit in front of the kids, I think, pretty much you should be good.
Now, my thing with Terry Crews is that for every time when he's acting, it's no problem for him to be sauntering up and twerking and gyrating and everything with his shirt off. But it's kind of like he's judging these actors for what they're doing. And the reality is that outside of the amateur porn, those are paid actors.
Right. It's just a different organization.
They have families. They have children. After they say, cut. They get their money. They go home. They collect their check. They go home. So if for me, you're knocking someone that does the same thing to you. The only thing that's different is you're not confident enough to take your clothes off.
All the way off.
All the way.
I think the issue he had a porn addiction.
Yeah.
He did?
And so he's trying to put his addiction on everybody else.
Well, shit. That's
like how preachers
if you can't fucking resist watching porn, that's on you.
Not like how preachers do.
And
what?
It's the truth.
And put a filter on your computer. Make it so that you
got parental. He gotta have parental restraints on his goddamn computer.
I guess he was so addicted that it was it caused issues in his marriage where he I guess wasn't sexually attracted or maybe he was spit. Maybe it overdid it. I don't know. But it was all type of shit he was talking about.
Good luck to him.
But, yeah, I'm about to say I could do it. That nigga, all he do is go shake pecs. Go shake the pecs.
Right.
He ain't got shit to say. Every time he say dumb shit about racism, say dumb shit about spirituality, nigga just dumb. I figure ignore his ass name.
Yeah. Treat
him like Boo Boo the Fool. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I got an uncle like that. I don't pay his fucking ass no mind.
Oh boy.
You old bitch.
Oh boy.
That's how you gotta say it. And then move
on.
on.
Like, did somebody say something?
Mm-hmm. Sound like some dumbass shit to me. That's Terry Crews. Sound like some dumbass shit to me.
Both of the individuals.
Brother was an idiot.
I do agree. Unfortunately, these are the individuals that we put in positions to talk. And it's like, okay, do what you are paid to do, and that's to entertain.
I'm gonna say, ain't nobody pay him to talk. I mean, not about all issues. Like, I mean, like who? Well, I'm gonna leave it alone because I could go on all day about the stupidity. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone.
Like that wasn't the questions about actors and musicians talking and shit. That was one of the questions.
Yeah, that was one of the questions. Is why do we put these actors and actresses, black ones, in these positions where we look at them as leaders when they start saying stuff like they're like leaders like Malcolm X and Luther? Because I saw that, and I asked that because I saw that video about with Morgan Freeman, Lil Wayne, and all these other actors, and they were giving their input on Black Lives Matter
and Lil Wayne
affected by it. And I'm like, wow.
I ain't never look. Was Morgan Freeman narrating something? Put Lil Wayne? That's an odd ass combination.
That's a strange combo.
You gonna say Morgan Freeman and Lil Wayne together? I'm confused.
And no one knows it's a video, and on the page is a video where it's someone recorded separate interviews and put them all in one video.
Right.
Okay.
And they're being bad. They talking about how they feel Black Lives Matter. They're just really talking bad about Black Lives Matter. And
oh wow.
A pin and spins on it. And I'm just like, people were really blown by these people saying that. But I'm like, why are we putting them on these pedestals where they're leaders? They're only actors. And after they finish acting, they go back home being the person they really are. They just imitating someone else to get money. So why are we putting them in these positions that they don't belong in? I don't really care what Morgan Freeman has to say, baby. Just act on TV, entertain, and go the fuck home and shut up.
Didn't he marry a step granddaughter or some crazy shit? Oh,
well,
what or something crazy.
But I feel like, you know, what we're seeing with black people in these positions historically was because they had a platform that we didn't have. So now it's changed a little bit because we all have this platform where we can all kind of get information out. The fucked up thing is that they are still talking. And, you know, a lot of what we're seeing with like the Morgan Freemans, Lil Wayne's, Talib Kweli, who recently is getting called out for attacking this black woman daily on Twitter, is that, and I want to use this very cautiously, but there's some issues with how black men are socializing with people other than black men, or straight black men socializing with anyone other than straight black men. A lot of them have been coming against Black Lives Matter, and I tend to think it's because it was started by black women.
Oh, and wow!
I think that has caused something a little bit of a thing because these women started an organization and they have had success with the organization, and there are some black men who are preaching a narrative that just does not want to support that, and and it's a real shit that, you know, it has been going on for a while, and I don't think anybody just wants to say it. Like, your issue more than likely is that it was black women that started this shit.
And
but also,
a part of the to piggyback off of what you're saying, Mr. Gilmore, is that a lot of those individuals, especially black men, and some women, because I saw a narrative by a woman who was calling out Black Lives Matter because of that fact, and that they were pro-gay. And so they're in their, I want to say their mission statement, they were basically saying that, you know, that we're all about supporting all Black lives. So that's including the LGBTQ community. And their concern was that the leadership of Black Lives Matter were women. Now, I don't know if the sexuality of it, but that was called into question because the leadership.
Now they're being paid by George Soros to protest and all this. Like now the conspiracies that have come against these women because they do include all Black lives.
Exactly.
I mean,
but it's an issue when women get killed by police officers. We do not get out and march and do all the shit that we do when a man gets killed. When a trans person is killed, we do not do all of this. When a gay person is killed, we don't do this shit. When a child is killed, a Black male or female child is killed, we don't do this shit. But we find a way to galvanize when Black men are killed. I am a Black man. I want y'all to fight and burn shit down when I die. But I want you to do if anybody else is Black and died too.
Absolutely. And so for the female, she was saying that, and the stuff that she was, it just popped, it all boiled down to a crock of shit. And it all looked as though, it all looked like, you were just hating on the fact that this group of women are calling Black people on some of the shit that we did. Because the reality is, like you said, Mr. Gilmore, that they were saying, well, they don't support Black men. And I'm saying, how is it that you can say that Black Lives Matter don't support Black men when that's what they were
That's
what started them. So that when I read that, I was like, well, what the hell? Where are you pulling this information from? And so then when I went to the Black Lives Matter website and I read their website extensively. And I saw the language, and it wasn't saying we don't want to support, but a lot of times what happens is a lot of Black people, especially in these activist groups, they want to be elitist. We want to say, support this group of individuals, but not that group. They want to exclude individuals. We don't want these type of people to be represented. We don't want these type of people to be marched for. We don't want this. And when you don't do that, then they start having shit to say about what you're doing.
One of my biggest fears with it is the lack of vetting of information. There are so many groups out there that believe in conspiracies and not facts. Ones that will preach to the death about the Willie Lynch letter, which is not real, which definitely tells real shit, but it is not real. But they do not believe in COINTELPRO, which was a very real organization.
Incredibly real.
And actively assassinated, killed, blew up, ripped apart, did all that shit. I went to a meeting. I'm not going to say the organization, but I went to a meeting once, and I posted about it on Facebook, and I was really concerned. Like, is this really how we're organizing? Because these are young Black people. And I was really, at the time, shit, I was in my late 20s. So I was like, fuck yeah, I want to up with people. But when I got there and they started talking about who we have to go after is single mothers and the gays. Single mothers are ruining Black families and the gays are ruining. And then they start talking about herds, and somehow Black people start sounding like goddamn cows on the damn Serengeti. I don't know. It was like, we got to get our population up and we got to herd out these people. And I stood up and I just said, this is some bullshit. I can't sit here through this.
But the thing about it is, I mean, but okay, you got to look at what has caused single motherhood. You know what I'm saying?
Right. There are single mothers in every culture.
That's true too.
Who gives a shit? If you have an issue with a single mother, go talk to the fucking father. Why is he going?
And
if the single mother dragged them off, who gives a fuck? You need to be there for your child. I don't give a fuck about that other bullshit. Be there for your kid.
I mean, but systematically, I mean,
if that's a single mother, then a single father should be there too. If the father ain't shit, that don't mean the mother not shit. I don't give a fuck if they couldn't work it out. Work it out between you and that child.
Right.
If y'all couldn't fucking make, I don't know. I just don't give a shit about that bullshit. I keep hearing that story, that same narrative used over and over again by this people. It's fucking excuses. it's excuses for trying to gang up on somebody, and I ain't with it.
And a lot of these organizations, that's what they do. They try to bully you and intimidate you into the behaviors that they want for you to do, to display. And I'm like, when I heard, the funny thing is, this was not from white people. This, what I read was from a Black woman. And I'm thinking to myself, instead of you trying to have a conversation talking about what you are having, what your issues are with this group, you decide to comb through their website and to try to extract information and distort that information to paint this picture to align with your views. And that's what has happened historically with Black people. We fuck each other over.
We were taught to.
I mean, and not only that, it's almost like if you Black, like you can't have a difference of opinion from anybody else within the group, because now you either not Black enough, or you acting white, or it's like if you have any other opinion that's not what what they want you to stick to, it's like you get condemned for that. Like prime example, and I'm not taking up on Terry Crews. If Terry Crews ain't never been, I don't know what his background is, but he might not have the same background as another Black man. So their struggles are different. Some struggles are the same, but their upbringing is different. So he might have different views than you have. But it doesn't that's his opinion. What he says is not fact. So I think a lot of people think that when somebody says something that it's fact, like he's attacking, like, and it's like, okay, that's that person's opinion. As asinine as it may be, that's still their opinion. But that doesn't speak to every Black man that's out there walking. That's his story. That's why they call it history. That's his story.
I think the issue is because he does have the platform, and they can take his words and then use it as a conversation for all Black people. Now, I'm not saying that he isn't entitled to his opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But I'm also entitled to say that shit is wrong.
Yeah, and
I'm also entitled to say that shit is divisive and that it's toxic and it's dangerous. And because you have an opinion, you need to understand that it can be dangerous, and it can be loaded, and it can be weaponized. And I think those are issues. And
and anything you say in media can be edited.
But my problem with Terry Crews is it's the fact that what he said is a form of ignorance. He can have his own opinion, but it's a form of ignorance. Black Lives Matter, it was a group put together because cops was killing Black people. And what he's trying to do is also intertwine that with Black on Black crime, and you can't do that. That's two different
situations. That's a different situation. And it doesn't make Black on Black crime right, but it's just different situations.
All live, we're saying Black Lives Matter, but Blacks killing Blacks this day, and he's all lives matter. And I'm like, you're dismantling what Black Lives Matter stands for. Right. It stands for police killing Black men, and we want equality also in the world. It's not about, that's a whole separate issue. Yeah. It's not about the LGBTQ community. Yes, that we are part of Black Lives Matter, and that's tragic, but it's not about fixing that. It's about stopping police brutality and for all mankind on here. It's dealing with those separate issues. So when you get a star that's coming on TV and in interviews with CNN, Don Lemon, and he's sitting here saying this stuff, yes, people are listening and people are going to side with you because you're this Black artist, which goes to my question. Why do we put idiots like that in these places of leadership where they don't belong? You barely can act.
But who put him there? Who put him in a position of leadership?
I don't think
because you gotta look at it. Is it that Black people put him in a position of leadership?
No.
Or is it other people that because of where he is and his, as far as money wise and all of that they put him in a leadership role? That's why
I don't think so. I disagree because I don't feel like he is a person whose opinion
fucking matters.
Even considered, right? It be, I think,
give a fuck what Terry Crews say or what his opinion is.
That's
because
the
he don't speak for all black men. Because just like I said, your struggle is different than his.
The problem with that, Mazel, is we say that, but when you go on Twitter, that's a whole nother ball game. Because this man has millions of people commenting on the page, and whereas a lot of people that agree with him that are black and white, and there's a lot of people that disagree. You don't listen. This man has a voice, and people are listening and following, and that's what I mean by leadership. People
but the same way they listening to his ass, they can listen to somebody else that you know what I'm saying. So like I said, that's his opinion. Those people that's following him and agreeing with him, they probably just as sleep as his motherfucking ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you got to look at who you talking to. You know what I'm saying?
Consider the source.
That's why I said what I said. Who put him? Who says that he's in a position of leadership? He was chosen by them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's their idea of what a black man is. But they can't tell you as a black person what you know what I'm saying, who you supposed to look up to and who you not. And I think that's part of the problem. Like we other people tell us who our fucking leaders should be.
I don't know. I feel like that's another conversation. I think literally like with this shit, it's the fact that because of his voice, then those days that we were talking about, those political whatever that seek to continue to legislatively oppress us, they use those words as sound bites. That are used as agreements. I don't think it's the fact that we've said that this is a leader or that they've said that he's a leader. It's the fact that because he is known, they use his words to then work it into legislation. And that's what my issue is.
I get that. But then there's the people that's speaking against it.
I ain't really going, because right now, black leadership is basically whoever is the loudest. It has nothing to do with anybody that actually wants to do the fucking work. Because I think rightfully so, they are fucking scared that they'll be assassinated. And they will. But I really think that it's beyond him being a leader. It's more of them using his words as a soundbite or saying, when it comes to legislation, they say, well, Terry Crews, who is a black man,
they would cite him.
Yeah, and I get that.
And so now you've only had him say this is okay. They have yet to look at anyone else in the room.
Now, and where's the other black men though?
They look at us as a monolith as it is. That's how racism works. White people are looked at as being singular people. Black people are looked at as a clump, as a group, and that's it.
Well, then where's the people that are going to speak out against that? I mean, it's so many issues that, like I said, you gotta find your tribe. But I think
I think in Cable asking that question, it says the fact that people are speaking up against it, and there are people who are railing against it daily because it. You know, right now we're in a space where opinions matter because opinions are forcing legislation.
Yeah, but at the same time, according to what the opinion is and what the opinion is about, you're also faced with cancel culture. Like I'm looking at the thing that happened with what's the guy's name? Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon, yeah.
One thing that I will say about it, because I'm not gonna form an opinion either way, but one thing that I will say about it, as I've read and listened to, whatever, is that at the end of it all, he ended up speaking with a Jewish rabbi to get more information after his conversation with Professor Griff. And he's saying that I don't know if that's what truly changed his opinion, but I appreciate the fact that he sought out more information to support what he thought was right. And I'm guessing that he found something different. So I just feel like, you know, in all that getting understanding, and when you go to voice that, unfortunately, now we're faced with cancel culture. So how do we handle that in railing against the machine?
I feel like if you find your tribe of like minds and you work with the people that you are around on your daily basis, you know, your everyday basis, then eventually, you know, you'll be organized to the point within the people who have like minds to be able to talk to each other and say, okay, you know, these are some of the issues that we have. You know, like it's like I said, everybody all of us are black, but all of us didn't have the same upbringing.
Right.
Like for me, I might be considered, have been privileged because I had both my parents in the household. You know what I mean? And I don't know what it feels like to have the fucking lights out. I don't know what it feels like to not have a fucking phone.
I'm sorry,
you know what I mean? So it's like I
don't want anyone to think that's the black experience.
Right.
And also,
what the black experience is
also, I will say,
but I'm just saying that's what they, that's some of the stereotypes that they use.
And if I could interject, I think that the issue is that when I say elitist, that's that group clumping.
Yeah.
And because we don't actually communicate with differences, and we talk to respond, a lot of times in society, I think a lot of people, when they're having conversations, they listen to respond. They don't listen to understand.
Right.
And I think that that's the biggest issue, is that a lot of these differences could be addressed if you were actually having a conversation open to understanding what other people's experiences are. But that's the issue. A lot of these activists, a lot of these politicians, a lot of these community leaders only get on the platform so that they can speak and tell their version of this, their truth.
Right.
And they're not open to hearing nothing else. And because that's the case, that's why we have so much divisiveness going on. I believe that if you really want to see some change, you have to come to the table with an understanding that not everyone experiences the world the way that you experience it.
Exactly.
You have to be open to understanding and accepting their realities.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you have to go along with it, but you still have to be open and willing to hear what they have to say.
Right.
And so I'm willing to hear what you have to say, but I want to also know what's your intent. My major thing is, what is your intent? What are you trying to really do? Because a lot of people use these platforms for their own personal gain, and they don't really give a fuck about any of the stuff.
Right.
They're just using it for publicity. They're using it so that they can get a like. They're using it, but when it comes down to the real work, when it comes down to the communities that really matter, I'm gonna look out the door at Greenmount Avenue, and I'm gonna see if Terry Crews or any of these individuals marching up and down Greenmount Avenue, because I don't see damn one of them. Now they can free 500 criminals from this jail and that, but until they erect a school, until they help fix these houses up, or talk to some politicians,
or tear them down and put some parks or something up there,
improve their communities in their cities, I really have nothing. They don't do shit for me.
Well, and you have to kind of do like with community. You have to do for yourself. That's what makes it all work. When you have your communities, like in your community, you take care of what you have. I can take, I take care of what I got over here. You take, I don't know.
I'm gonna share a Bleu story. When I first moved into my neighborhood on the east side of Baltimore, where I'm currently located, this was a rat shack of a neighborhood. This was fucked up. They were out prostituting, they were out selling drugs, they were out doing all sorts of stuff in my neighborhood. The rats was walking you into the house, carrying your bags for you,
can I help you with the
offering to smoke blunts with you. That's the neighborhood. When I moved in here, they had condoms when I moved into my neighborhood, they had condoms on the ground out front your house. And what I did was something that I saw my grandmother did. My grandmother every Saturday would wake up in the morning on Saturday and she would sweep the gutters. And that's all I did. When I started sweeping the gutters, that made other neighbors come out to see, what the hell are you doing? And it wasn't that I didn't ask them to help. I didn't ask them, but during that process, I was able to learn who lived in my neighborhood. And then eventually what happened was, when I came out on Saturdays, they started to come out. They started to, I see you cleaning up your front, I'm gonna clean up my front. Now the teenagers, the kids that were selling drugs, they still was doing their thing, but the difference was they wasn't throwing condoms on my front,
right?
Because I put a trash can out there,
right?
And that taught them, okay, you know what?
I'm gonna throw it. It's a trash can right here.
You have to. Sometimes you got to lead by example.
Exactly.
You don't have to go. You don't have to go out there. You don't have to beat people over the head with your information. You just have to do it your damn self. And people will pick up if they feel that that's how they can do it. They'll join in with you. But you have to give them options. You can't say, "Oh, you have to do this." Give them options for what they can do to help the movement. Exactly. Not everybody is going to be a speaker. Not everybody is a marcher. And not everybody is a singer. Use them how they can be used. But you have to give them options. And that's the thing. In these movements, people aren't given options to do anything outside of what they have designed. Oh, you have to march, or you have to protest. Right. No, you don't have to do any of that shit to impact anything.
I'm not going. I can't say I'm gonna go out there and march, but I can do some other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna just be honest. Because if something break out, I mean, that's what we were talking about. What, last week? If something break out, how fast can you run? Can you get away?
Yes.
If somebody ran you down, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta think of all this stuff.
Like, but that's things that I mean, even with that, you know what I'm saying? Black people and their health. When do we, that's how you can do something with that. Stress, mental health in the Black community, substance abuse in the Black community, cancer in the Black community, hypertension in the Black community. Mm-hmm. There are so many things that we can do, we can address within our community. It's not just about the killing, it's about how we are taking care of ourselves on so many levels. And if you want to address the Black community, talk about those things that are affecting us. Yeah, the police have been kicking our ass and fucking us up, but that's not something that's new. They were doing that when they started night riding as the KKK and snatching people out of their houses and lynching them on trees down the South. That's not something that's new. Police and Black people isn't a new thing.
No, it's not.
And so the thing about it is that we should have been addressed these things, but we're too busy picking fights amongst each other. We're distracted.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's how we get jacked up.
But I mean, now, well, yeah, because this rabbit hole right here is deep. You know what I'm saying?
I'm on my fourth cup of cocktail, and so I'm ready to talk. I'm for the shits today. Whoever comes, wherever, I'm ready. Who got something they want to talk about? Who got something? I'm ready. Everybody. I'm for the shit. I am ready. Mm-hmm. That's the Gemini trait in me. That's the argue. That's the person that likes to argue. I forgive that side.
Starting shit.
A mess.
Forgive that Gemini trait.
Look, ain't they want to say nothing, but it was just like
because they like, yeah, you right. We do like the arguing
on
shit.
Mute over that motherfucker.
It's passion. It's not argumentative.
Oh, is that what it is?
Now I feel you on that because I say that shit all the time. Like people think I'm angry, but I'm not angry. I'm just, I'm just animated or passionate about what I say.
Oh yeah. So when you go, on my legal documents, I'm gonna say that I didn't assault you. I passionately tapped you.
Then I fucked you up.
And I passionately was tapping you with my fist.
Repeatedly.
With my bald hand. With my bald hand, I passionately touched you.
Your close hand, huh?
Yeah.
Moving right along. Because we've been talking,
You've been talking about that the whole damn show. We probably got 3 minutes left.
3 minutes.
Be mad as shit.
Y'all been talking this whole damn time. We ain't get to none of the other stuff. All right, so what the question that I am looking at right now is from Cable. And I don't know, because we kind of touched on that. That was Nick Cannon wrong for his comments, and did he deserve to be fired?
I don't think he deserved to be fired. I don't.
No.
Hey, Adrian.
How many times? Yeah.
I don't understand how he did not own the rights.
Yeah, that
for
too,
the
bro.
name.
That
He
that
allowed
part
them
too,
to
bro.
buy it. The show has been coming on, like the pilot for it, I believe, was like late 2004, and it officially started in 2005. And it was years later that the rights to the show was either repurchased or purchased. And he never thought to own the name of it. Now he can get fired. You can pick me off your network, but that's still my show. It's coming with me. But they bought the rights to the name.
So he would, in order for him, so
he can start over. He just can't use the name.
Nope.
Right.
Unless he buy it,
and that's his. That's fucked up. But that's business.
Yep.
But the funny thing is that he could. I mean, that's nothing. He could always call it wilding. He only has to say wilding out.
Yeah,
rebranding costs so much, and they can continue doing wilding out, and they probably will continue to do it because it's cost them very little, but they've made so much.
All they got to do is substitute
but wait a minute,
the players.
the people that come on there.
Can he take the people that was on there with him?
None of them, but see, and I think it's something with him. He doesn't do a lot of contracts. So all the people on there, none of them were contracted with him. None of them were managed by him or contracted. So they could stay if they want to, or they could leave, or they don't ever have to deal with him again. But none of them are under contract. He was the only one that had a contract with Viacom. None of them had a contract with him. Like he wasn't managing any of them.
But it was his whole concept.
So this is what I think, and this is how I feel about this, and this is. I get that you have to be conscious of what you say about people, in certain platforms. You have to be mindful of what you say, especially if you're dealing with a group of individuals that are sensitive about the subject matter. But also, I think that people they have a right to their opinion. It's just that who they choose to express their opinion to. Now, he was on his platform with this individual having this interview that's going to be seen by so many individuals. He should have been a little bit more mindful of what it was that he was saying. Because I respect
his defense, but are Jewish people that mindful of the things that they do to Black people?
I don't think so. I know they're not.
Thank you.
There's a term for it. Anti-Semitic. There's a term for when someone disrespects a Jewish person.
But it's not just Jewish people, and that was one of the things that they talked about on the podcast. Is that Semitic means people coming from a sub-Saharan Africa area. And so us being who we are as a people, we fall under the category of a Semitic people. So how can you be anti-Semitic if you yourself are Semitic? And that was one of the points that he made.
Thank you so much, Kay. Because also, what it looks like is that you're bullying people into not doing into thinking or not saying.
What happened to freedom of speech? What happened to freedom of speech? So now you're saying, yeah, you got freedom of speech, but now every time you speak, I'm gonna punch you in your mouth.
Same way they canceled Louis Farrakhan from Facebook, but yet Trump can still Twitter and type. But they banned this man from social media.
Thank you.
But this whole thing with Nick Cannon is just reminiscent of Arsenio Hall when he had Louis Farrakhan on.
Yeah,
that was the last show Arsenio Hall did.
Yeah.
And to me, Professor Griff has been a black sheep for a long time. And he even touched on that, how they basically canceled him back before cancel culture was popular because they branded him an anti-Semite. And he said he didn't make any anti-Semitic remarks. It came out of a private meeting that he had with some folks, and because he called names and talked about some things that happened with those names in the room, then it became a problem. And now here Nick Cannon has this gentleman on his show, and they're having a discussion. It's not like they bashing the Jewish people. It's not like they were bashing the Jewish culture. Professor Griff would make a statement. Nick would say, let's dig into that. Nick would ask questions. Professor Griff would say something else. Nick would agree or ask more questions. It was honestly an open conversation, a dialogue, a seeking of information, and a sharing of views. And I feel like the whole thing has been turned into something other.
As that's
this
what
is why I
media does.
appreciate you so much.
That's what media does.
This is why I appreciate you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for that information. It was definitely needed. If you're tuning in, this is the Kocktail Social. We're on Be Exposed Radio at the moment. These are my socialites, and we're in the mix. I have my cocktail. I hope that you have your cocktail. You can call in. You can also comment. You can also be a guest. This whole new social media platform has allowed us to be able to invite others in. So if you would like to be a special guest on the Kocktail Social one Friday, by all means, join the socialites, and we will definitely welcome you. Continuing on with the whole Nick Cannon, I still feel like I think they bully. I think they're bullying. You know what I mean? And I think what they use is the fact that they have this. And I honestly believe that he should just align himself with, what is it? Black-owned media or something weird, so he could take his show and do his own thing. A lot of times, because and honestly, I feel like when you do step on the powers that be toes, they do stuff to get rid of you.
Yeah, they do.
They dig up dirt on you. Mm-hmm. They if you call them
then
on
all of a sudden that candy bar you stole out the 7-Eleven is front page news. When you was 9.
They got a picture of you snorting coke.
Right.
They seen you come out of a brothel. So yeah, I mean, but again, I think that because of the people that he was working with, I don't think it's right. But I think that he should be mindful because he's been working with them for years. And for Black people, if you've been paying attention, this is not something new. Whenever you say something against a Jewish person about a Jewish anything, they will. Let me tell you, Black Lives Matter march.
They need to say about Black people then. If you ain't Black, don't say shit about a Black fucking community. Right. They need to do that then. Because they talk about us all day, every day on TV.
But the thing is that
beyond just cancel culture, we need that level of unity. Like when you mess with one of ours, your shit will get shut down. And I don't mean like a crab house or some shit. But I mean, your whole industry stopped. Like this man brought this type of attention to Viacom, yet they're willing to dismiss him and smack him on the hands by making him apologize so he doesn't lose his other jobs. But we need that level of unity. I'm sorry, and it has to be more than just cancel culture. Or you being shot down on social media.
But I gotta tell you, I feel like Black America was ready to stand up for him because he went and he apologized, and then he commented that his own people turned against him for apologizing. Well,
I was just say that.
Yeah, because I feel like we was ready to rally behind him because the actions of Viacom only further proved the conversation that he and Professor Griff were having.
But celebrities of that stature, what comfort do they have? Look what we just did to Colin Kaepernick. The moment that the sensation was over, we were back to watching fucking football. So we let that man hang on his own.
But now they're trying to bring him back. Now they're trying to bring him back because the George Floyd thing. Now they're trying to throw him back in the conversation here and there.
He's relevant again.
Now he's relevant again. But my thing is, why is he? Well, like I said, I don't want to keep going down this hole.
But we had to, at some point, we got to get to the bottom of it.
I mean, yeah.
You know,
but I mean, like I said, I feel like if we all, you know, I mean, just even with us, okay, it's what 6 people on this feed, you know, amongst us. Okay, look at how many people you know, people that you really, you know, cool with. I ain't saying that you gotta, you know, hang out with them every day or whatever, and you know that there's certain shit that they do. You know what I mean? Use that. And I think that we do it, but I think that we are so broken and used to people treating us a certain way. Then you can't trust nobody. You know what I'm saying? I think if we really look like Michael Jackson said, the man in the fucking mirror. Look at the motherfucker in the mirror and start with you. Once you start with you, you know what I'm saying? It's going to shine on the outside. Just like you said, okay, you started sweeping your gutters, and now people coming out sweeping their damn gutters. Take some pride in your shit. There's no reason why you go down Poplar fucking Grove and Emerson Avenue. There's so much fucking trash in the goddamn gutter that if they have a good rainstorm, all that shit gonna flood. And there's businesses right there. So my thing is, as a business owner, they should be held accountable for what the fuck their storefront look like. If you got trash and shit in your gutter, it's part of your job to get that shit up and at least put it in the trash, and then that way the city truck can come and pick all that shit up.
But they don't care because that's not they don't live in that community.
Right.
They just can't
no, they don't. But what I'm saying is, if you start holding them accountable, they still got a business in this city, regardless of the fact. You got a business in this city. That's just like if you're allowing drug dealers to come in your business and sell fucking drugs, as many of them do.
That's true.
But when you start putting restrictions on their asses too, if you won't have a fucking business in the city, guess what? Make sure your storefront is clean.
I'll agree because
that's
they make
part of the agreement. Make sure that it's clean.
They cite homeowners for high grade, so why not cite
the government can't do everything for us. We, like you said, you got to do it yourself. Just like, you know, it does influence other people when you make those type of moves. Just like I went out here and planted a garden. I planted a garden. Now I notice it's 2 or 3 other people that then planted gardens that I know didn't have them last year. You see what I'm saying? Little small shit. Be yourself. Look at yourself and see what it is, because everybody got a gift. I don't give a shit. Like, you got some people like, oh, I ain't got no gifts and talents and stuff. Everybody got one. I don't give a fuck if you got a gift to gab. If you got a gift to sell some shit to somebody, some shit you know they don't fucking need, and you can sell it to them, that's a fucking gift.
On me, I got some shit I need to sell.
You feel me? Shit. Ain't nobody talking about no ass even down there. No, come on now.
Well, if that's your gift, you said if that's your gift. You said
First
it's
of all,
your gift.
let me tell you something for sex work.
You said speak for yourself, bitch.
I'm about to say, because sex work is a job and it gets the bills paid. So
just saying, if that's your gift.
While wiping his mouth, shoot.
Hey, you ain't hurt my feelings by calling. Look.
You said shit, bitch. Free advertising for me, honey.
Let me tell you something. That first apartment was laid and paid for. That's why they call me jawbone.
Jawbreak.
Moving right along.
Great job.
Moving right along. The next question, Cable. Because I don't want. Do you remember the questions that you submitted?
I remember one. I kind of want to lighten it up before we end. So let's get to one of those light questions.
Yeah, go ahead, because we
because it needs to be handled like Giselle said, like Nate said. So, but one of the good questions was, what music are you listening to today, and what albums are you looking forward to that's coming out?
I went back to some old shit. I'm listening to Bob Marley. I'm listening to, the Revolution songs and stuff that he wrote. I'm listening to Zap Mama. I listen to some of Zap Mama stuff. She kind of got like a Afro. I can't even call it, but it's kind of neo soul, but it's kind of got like a little African kind of vibe to it too. Matter of fact, she did a song with Erykah Badu back in I forget what year it was, but I think it was Bandy Bandy, and she did that with Zap Mama. So I just been like pulling out old stuff. Like I found some old CDs and I was like, oh shit, like I forgot I had these. Like some of them didn't play, but I just pulled some of them out and just started listening to it because I had kind of gotten away from listening to my music because I lost a lot of music, and then it's like just trying to keep up with it. It's just like what I play, one of these little internet streaming sites and listen to music on there or something, but I really miss just having my own music and my own playlist where I was, stuff that I like listening to. Because I listen to old shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Anybody else? What is anybody?
I've been watching old episodes, well, not old, but the episodes of Soul Train, the TV series. And so a lot of the artists that were on there, I'm starting to listen to the actual artists that are being portrayed on that TV show. So like a lot of funk, a lot of disco, a lot of that genre of music that was being represented, older R&B. So I've been going through those YouTube and then letting YouTube kind of direct me based off of
the algorithm
to that.
Mr. Gilmore.
I'm looking forward.
I'm listening to Joy Badass and Liana La Havas. Those are two of the ones I've been kind of on lately.
Okay. Say that again so that I didn't get
Liana La Havas.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
And Joey Badass.
Okay. Joey Badass.
I have to say I'm looking forward to this August Alsina album. I want to see what hurt he will pour out.
I wasn't looking forward to him 5 years ago. I ain't looking forward to him now.
Look, I'm gonna be honest, and maybe I was under a rock, but y'all know I don't be, watching a whole lot of TV and different stuff sometimes. But I didn't even know who he was until like recently, like when they brought up this whole scandal situation. I didn't know who he was.
Until you saw the picture.
I didn't even see that. That's how far, but I didn't even see the pictures until after.
Can I say something? Can I say something about that? So when I saw this question from Cable, I was thinking, it was like, okay, who are you listening to? The last time I brought an album was in the 90s.
Me too. No.
I like
when the I think the last album I remember buying was something from Erykah Badu or something, and I think that's the last.
I'm gonna be honest. I've purchased all of Erykah Badu's music. I purchased all of Jill Scott's music.
Right.
And a local artist that I purchased all of their music, and it was from Everyone's Place, was Fertile Ground. I support local artists and things of that nature, so I do listen to their music. I think there's a lot of wonderful local talent here. I do think that as far as mainstream, I don't listen to a lot of the music. Like, I like my Megan Thee Stallion, but that's not because of content. That's just because it make you want to twerk. Same thing with the Baby. It make you want to twerk. But in terms
Baby?
The Baby. I like him. I listen to his music. It doesn't make sense to me. He's always, but at the end of the day, it makes me want to dance. I recall Biggie saying that music either has to make you cry or want to dance. And so, but the music that makes me want to do that are old school music. So the 90s, I was listening to SWV yesterday. I've been listening to Brandy.
I was listening. Wait a minute, I dragged this one out. I was listening to Monifa.
Oh wow!
Her first
Monifa.
Yeah, Earn Hall. Like, know what I'm saying? Let me tell you, I was listening to I Miss You. Sitting there.
Your baby.
And his feelings.
What?
I was listening to Ann Quet.
Oh, not Ann Quet.
And it wasn't because it was just that it made you think of an era, and it was like it made me feel good listening to it. So That's the music that I've been listening to. The
Yeah,
music that
that's what I've been doing.
Don't really have too much substance to it. To me, it's like candy. You can listen to it, but you don't need to listen.
Pills, drugs, sex. Pills, bugs, sex, drugs, sex, drugs. That's what it sounds like to me.
That's all it is.
Pills, drugs, sex. Pills, drugs, sex. That's a song right there. Pills, drugs, sex. Pills, drugs, sex.
But the funny thing is, myself. The crazy thing is that as you started singing that, I started dancing a little bit. You was like pills, drugs, sex. Pills, drugs, sex.
Pills, drugs, sex.
What be behind that?
Pills, drugs, sex. Pills, drugs, sex. You never That's that shit that make you look over your shoulder at that motherfucker like, oh. Now, just know that on July 17th, we were singing Pill, Blood, Sex. If y'all hear anybody doing that shit,
let
it be known.
It's gonna be out there
on the Kocktail Social first.
So you might as well get your lawyers ready.
Get your shit together, because it is televised. Okay. Because, marijuana's bad. Okay.
What are you listening to, Cable?
I'm kind of like out of.
Speak up, we can't hear you.
I guess the different one. So I've been listening to like her. I've been listening to a lot of new music. I like the little chill sounds. I've been listening to her. I listen to, of course, I like Brandy's new song, and definitely looking forward to her new album. Alanis Morissette got new music out that I absolutely love. Her new album comes out next Friday. On July the 31st as well.
Say word.
How's that on your
face today? Oh my!
That's my girl.
I got a Brandy tattoo on him right now.
We got it's a tramp stamp. He got it on the bottom of his back.
I don't have no Brandy tattoo.
He got a Brandy tattoo on the bottom of his back.
And
when does Alanis Morissette's album come out?
July 31st.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that because that was I loved Alanis Morissette.
Listen, who did
out already, so definitely check them out. And I like Tinashe. I'm definitely a Tinashe fan. And one thing I can say about Tinashe is she's actually been really working really hard as an artist, trying to build her platform. She put out constant music videos. She put out constant music. She's been supporting Black Lives Matter harder than a lot of these female artists I've seen out here. Pictures. She's really been doing a lot. And I think that's why I really appreciate her as an artist, because she's just really been giving back to the community while doing her craft. And I just love how she interacts with fans. And I actually surprisingly been listening to I love every last single song Alicia Keys has put out lately.
Okay.
And
all right. That's I was like, what?
I'm just saying I love
Are they live or they recorded?
I love
I'm sure they recorded.
So first of all, y'all are shady.
Why you say it like that, Karen? I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Recorded.
Y'all said, first of all, when you said Alicia Keys, everybody on the platform was like, say, well.
I mean, I'm not a
Alicia who?
Don't get me wrong, I'm not a Alicia Keys fan like that, but she does have some good music that I do listen to. And I ain't gonna lie, her music lately I like. So,
Hey.
Now hearing her sing them live is gonna be a different story. But right now, recording wise,
don't do it.
I love what I hear. And so,
that's what I'm doing now.
Wow.
I've been listening to a lot of Betty White. I was really
Betty White
thoroughly impressed on her her connection to hip hop and how many people really sampled her music. I knew some of them.
Wait a minute. Did you say Betty White?
Betty Wright.
Right.
Oh, okay. I said, what in the hell is happening here? I thought you said Betty White. I was like, okay.
I didn't know she was so young singing some of those songs and writing.
I know you ain't gonna sing that song.
Right. I think she was like 16 or 17 when she wrote that song.
Wow.
I was just impressed about her business sense. So I started listening to her music based on all the samples that she had.
Mm-hmm.
But she has a great catalog.
That's how you know you got some good music when they want to use it for something else. And trust me, they've used a lot of the good ones.
Yeah, you'd be surprised at who used her, who sampled her, and they were all majorly hip hop artists.
Well, we've come to that time, my kittens and caboodles. It is the end of the show. And I like I said, Fridays don't come fast enough, and when they get here, they're gone too soon.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing you all next week for another cocktail social. For everyone that is joined in, I truly appreciate you joining next week at 7 p.m. where we'll host another cocktail social and we'll be up to our antics as usual. I am your host, Blue Waters. These are my socialites. This is Be Exposed Radio, and this is the Cocktail Social. See you next week. Mwah.
Good day, sir.
A good day.
Said a good day.
I didn't roll my eyes at you. You know, Marty, you be making up shit.